All right, happy Monday morning to me. I don't know when it is your time, but it's today for me, Monday. And I've been slacking on you. Haven't made any videos in a week. This is the first time in I'm pretty sure the first time in the 7+ years I've been doing this. Almost 8 years. Actually, yeah, it's been 8 years. No, 7 years. So this is the first time in the 7 years that I've been making videos that I didn't make a video the entire week. And the reason is I was sick as crap, but I'm back and I'm good. So we're gonna take the GT4 out. I figure, I think I've probably had this thing about a year now, and it's probably time for an update. And just roll through that stop sign. Ain't no one gonna get me. But the car's warm. I just drove here to the garage to get the cameras. And so don't worry about that. The engine's okay. We have 221 degrees, 214 degree oil temp, so we're good. So current setup of the car is stock suspension, but lowered. Lowered about between 1/4 and 1/2 an inch, something like that, like 3/8 of an inch-ish. I have 7mm spacers in the front. Yeah, in the front, Future Classic 7mm spacers. And right now what I have is, and I'm probably going to keep it this way, stop messing with it. I've tried 7 or 8 different exhaust iterations, Dundon headers, race headers from Soul, race rear section from Soul, race headers and race rear section, which was terrible. The Soul rear section, what I have right now, which I think is the best combination, is the over-axle pipes. So these are the Soul over-axle, which removes the OPF, the particulate filters. So those have been removed. And this guy's going to want to go straight, but we're going to roll it. And then the factory rear section. The only disadvantage of doing that is it's a little bit hollow sounding, but in general, there's noise, but there's no real drone. And I have the valves disconnected. This car, the way the gearing is set up, I mean, you're going to be under open valve operation for most of your driving experience. So this car has a lot longer, taller, whatever you want to call it, gearing. And so when I'm driving the thing around town, like I'm in 4th gear and I'm at 2,800 RPMs. So right now the valves would be closed, which I think is no fun. And so I love just this base operation. Rolling through the gears, there's 4,500, 5,000, where the valves just stay open. And with this combination, there's not really any drone. There's sound, there's noise, but there isn't that boomy resonance that I've gotten from most of the other combinations of exhaust. So I'm pleased with this setup. I think this is the best way to go. This probably, other than doing Dundon headers, this probably frees up the most amount of horsepower because you're getting rid of that big, particulate filter, on the car. The OPF filter is not, that particular filter is not monitored on a US car, but it is in Europe, so you have to do some more stuff to get it to work in Europe, from what I understand. As you can see, I love the rev match manually myself, but the car does such a good job of it, and I can't heel toe to save my life, so I don't mind it at all. I think I leave it on. I have the T-Design, I think it's called T-Design module underneath the center console here that leaves the car in exhaust on, which really doesn't matter because I've got the valves defeated. And I have auto blip set, and then of course auto stop start set to off. So every time I turn the car on, it remembers that, it just stays in that mode. There's a little module that's in the center console here. But I had an offer. One of my buddies offered me a full sticker on this car, and I almost sold it, because I hopefully have the the 911 Tour, the GT3 Touring. I'm hoping that's coming here soon. But I think I'm going to try to keep this. I canceled my my Type S, or Model S, not Type S, my Model S order. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to keep this car. I like it too much. I mean, this is the car. It's not as special as driving around in the GT3, but this is the car I grab the keys first, no matter what. I think it's freaking fantastic. I do think the 981, this is the 718, the newest version of the car, but the previous gen, I do think those sound better. But this one is, considerably faster, and it's got the modern Porsche module thingy, the nav unit. So I just, it's more relevant technology-wise, and so the difference in the cars aren't remarkable. Redline is 8,000. Sounds like a race car. Feels like a race car. And these cars are as fast as a 991.1 GT3, so I think they make about the same amount of horsepower. So they're extremely, they're pretty heavily underrated. But I don't find myself needing more power. Brakes are obviously the same brakes as a GT3, so the braking is freaking phenomenal. The having the balance of this car is unquestionably amazing. Mid-engine, I just love how this car feels when I'm driving. You can drive this every day around town. The seats are kind of annoying to get in and out of, but rev limiter bounce for you. I always forget. That's one thing I forget when I find myself when I do take this car to Redline. I drove the GT3 this weekend. I forget that Redline's at 8,000. So I've hit the rev limiter on this car a lot more than any other car I think I've ever owned. But just listen. Not as dramatic as the GT3, but I like the tone of this car. It's just deeper, throatier sounding car. It is a deeper, throatier sounding car. So, I think this is a long-term keeper. I've said that before about many cars, but I don't have any intention of changing. I don't love the color of this car. It's okay. I don't know. I think I'd rather have this in white, but white's kind of boring. Or I'd love to have this in like a, in the old, what's my other car? Sapphire blue? Blue, like regular blue. But it's just so flat, the steering is so good. It's just hard to beat. The one thing that's annoying is the air conditioning stinks in this car. It's terrible. It's just not good. And it's probably because I'm an idiot and didn't source or didn't spec the auto climate control. It's freaking good. Yeah. It kind of stinks that they don't make enough of these, like you can't get one. And that really does stink. I feel fortunate that this is the first GT car I was ever able to buy. Just spec out myself. It's just super bumpy here. I feel like I would probably be faster I'm probably faster in this car than I am in a GT3 in my RS. It just feels more predictable to me. You know, obviously the mid-engine makes it rotate differently. The way that the front end of the car feels, it just feels, it's more forgiving. The DSC controller I have on the GT3 RS helped a lot. The changes of the sway bar and spring rates on the .2 RS over the .1, I thought made the car more difficult to handle. But the DSC controller seems to have fixed that, or at least improved the feel for me. I always felt like I was darting into a corner and just didn't feel super confident. And but the RS with the DSC controller feels much improved. This car, I don't have any of that. I don't want to mess with it. I don't want a DSC controller on this. It's freaking perfect. Even, you know, lowering a little bit. I didn't go, and because I lowered it so little, I didn't get an alignment done, which will freak some people out. But getting alignment's such a pain in the butt, especially around here. There's just nowhere to go. You have to drive an hour and a half, and then wait an hour, and drive another hour and a half back. It's no fun. And usually it takes 3 hours to get an alignment done, so it's an all-day affair. And the thing is fine. The toe might be slightly off, but whatever. My tires are wearing evenly, so I'm not worried about it. But just, I mean, if you're questioning sport buckets or not, I mean, I've sat in these, not this car, but in my RS for 8 hours straight and was still comfortable. They are annoying to get in and out of, so if you were driving this car every day, I think I would get the regular seats, the regular 4-way or 2-way, I forget what the option was in this car. But see, I find myself even somewhat aggressively driving. I'll shift it, 4,000 RPMs. And so if you had the normal valve operation, it'd be closed all the darn time, barely opening. Just dumb. Makes the car sound terrible and makes it make virtually no noise. And now it freaking sounds awesome. Not the best sounding car on the planet, but it's good. Really good. Fun. Break the law here in a second. I can't follow minivan grandma the whole way back in the garage. So I mean, that's my 1 year update. The only thing I've done is change the oil. Changed the oil once. I've got 2,379 miles on the car, which is about normal for me and my cars. I don't drive them every day. The feel of that, like coming around this turn, oh, the car is so freaking balanced. It doesn't get any better. I guess the only way it'd be better if this was a GT4 RS. I have developed a little bit of an occasional rattle on the RSNV uprights. And I've re-torqued them and made sure they're tight, but they have a little tick to them. You can hear sometimes, like right now under load, the downforce is keeping the wing probably pressed pretty tightly down. But if you're putting around town, I will find that there's a little bit of a rattle back there sometimes. Yeah, man, I don't know much else to say other than, I mean, if you're fortunate enough to own one of these, I think I was worried about the redundancy because the interior, and this is very similar to, almost identical to the GT3. Would it feel redundant? I love having the PDKS and the GT3 and the manual on this. It might get a little redundant if I do get a 992 Touring, but yeah, I love having both. Come on, Grandma. Oh, she's gonna stop. So yeah, I mean, do you want a GT3 and a GT4 at the same time? You know, I think the answer is yes. I would love to have 15 GT3s. You know, I think that, you know, having this a 997 RS would be the goal. Which I think the 997 RS has kind of run away from me. I should have bought one when they were $100-something thousand bucks. Now they're, you know, I just called them one the other day. I wanted $350 plus for it. It's not going to work. But the you know, the transmission. Oh, I forgot. I do have the racing. Jason Singh. I have the racing shift knob, which whatever is fine. Looks good. And I do have a Uniden R7 on a blend mount that I have. I think I did a mirror tap on this one. I don't remember. You'll have to go consult the videos, but I do have a video of the install. I don't know if I hardwired it to the fuse box. I usually do that. That's probably what I did. Mirror taps to me aren't super secure, and I only do them if I have to. It's just a good, fun sound. Very Porsche. More Porsche than an RS, if that's even possible. It has that 911, that, you know, that best of the naturally aspirated 911 sound that, you know, it'd be hard to hate. It may not be your favorite sound, but it's good. So yeah, I think the combo of RS and GT4 is the way to go. I would highly recommend it. This is also the only car that I ever downshift into first. You know, normally I don't engage first until I come to a complete stop. But this car, the way it's geared, which I don't mind, is I find myself downshifting into first often. Let's back this sucker in here. Yeah, so we're going to be doing a GT4, GT3 comparison video. I might, you know, rent a track or something, or go out to an airstrip, and we're going to do like a well-produced video, not just a GoPro video. Talk about my thoughts. I might even write down some of the things, because I forget oftentimes what I forget things or don't complete my thoughts. So I do want to do some more specific videos on the cars and really get you some in-depth detail on the why and, you know, and how the cars are done for me. But I think this one's here to stay. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Back to a bunch of videos this week and future weeks for now until forever. Anyway, always courtesy Rev. See you next video.